So, a take that I will admit was wrong, that it's going to hurt me to admit, because I'm ready to see Luke's face light up with this. The Bills suck. The Bills are a bad football team. They can't run the
They're so
ball.
bad.
They have no running backs. Their O-line is horrible. Their D-line, their linebacker core is horrible. I will happily admit that. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the All-Star Trio Podcast. As always, I am your host, Nick, joined by my co-host, Luke.
How is it going?
And moderator, Tori.
Hello.
Today, we're in a very special episode. It's our 10th episode.
Yo.
Somehow managed to stick with each other for 10 weeks. Don't know how, but we did.
That's crazy.
Uh,
This is perfect timing, too.
Yeah. Today, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to go back and look at our past 9 episodes, and we're going to see how right we were. How right, how wrong. We're going to talk about some old takes. Just see how it goes, you know? Why not? Have some fun. See how it goes.
Oh, I've been looking forward to this.
I already know I have a lot of bad takes, but we're Luke went through his notes looking for stuff. I'm just kind of going off the top of my head here.
I did.
See how it is. Tori, kick us off.
Looking back at bad takes, let's start off with our worst takes, just flubs, that sort of thing. Whether we just lost it and we didn't post it. Let's talk about that.
Luke?
So how about Ben Simmons? Ben Simmons will be a Celtic. They need to get Ben Simmons. Celtics, we are not looking at Ben Simmons. Great take with that one. Great prediction.
Hey. I was just talking about how it would be a good fit and how it would work. You know, you get Ben Simmons and Seth Curry. It wasn't really a prediction. It was more of a question. All right. Okay. I will admit that was wrong. My bad. If we're going to talk about
it was so funny, though, because Boston, like what, 3 days later said, yeah, we're not looking at Ben Simmons. It was so good.
Oh, man. Luke, you can take charge of this episode. I'm going to let you. Because
yeah.
I looked at my bad takes than I did your bad takes. So.
Okay, I did the same thing.
Whoa,
So,
Luke's in charge of the podcast for once? That's kind of crazy.
This is awesome. So I have one for Nick and one for me on each section. So my bad take was I said Cam being back in Carolina would let him win more.
Oh, yeah.
Cam has been benched.
Yeah,
Cam has
bad.
He got benched for PJ Walker like 2 days ago. It's bad. That was a bad take.
He was benched in 2 separate games and is now pretty much permanently benched. Dude, I stand by it. Carolina probably has the worst quarterback room in the entire NFL. It's terrible. Like Sam Darnold, PJ Walker, Cam Newton. That's not a good quarterback room. What I am against, though, everyone's blaming the head coach, saying he went into win now mode. They have a top defense. Like, their defense is number 1 in the league in passing yards allowed, which is what you want. They have good receivers. Christian McCaffrey's a great running back when he's healthy. He couldn't get a good quarterback. He tried. He really did. He tried to get Sam Darnold and get a young guy in, see what he could do. Didn't work. He tried to get Cam, tried to get a veteran guy in. Didn't work. I think his name's Matt Rule. Don't fire him. He's done amazing things as a coaching staff. Just stick by it. See how it goes.
They've tried. Yeah, they tried. It just hadn't worked out for them this season. Maybe we'll see them get more quarterbacks in the draft and free agency. Mm-hmm. Who knows? But so moving, yeah, probably. But moving on from bad takes, I'm gonna go to takes we argued against that ended up true. Both of us said the Dodgers would either sweep the Braves, you, or win in 5, me. And then the Braves won.
I said it after that. No one in the world expected that. I mean, the Braves went on to win it all. Great job for the Braves. They absolutely perfect underdog story. Perfect underdog.
It really was. And we had no faith in them to even get past LA, much less win against Houston.
Yeah, I didn't expect them to do it at all. But
so that was actually my next take was in episode 3.
Ooh,
This was
listening
the-
episodes now.
This was the World Series episode, right? This was when we recapped that. You said the Astros would win in 7. I said the Braves would win in 5. Both of us were wrong. Our special guest Dylan got it right.
Oh
Braves
my
in
god, did
6.
you really?
Yeah.
Okay, first off, Dylan, if you're listening to this, we will never talk about this in person. You do not get to hold this over us. Secondly, if we're going to go with that logic, I'm also going to go with the logic that if you say your team's going to win in 7, you don't actually trust your team to win. I was right. But yeah, I guess wrong.
Well, that's going to become like one of the foundations of our podcast. If you say your team wins in 7, they're not winning.
Mhm.
That
That's
was your
good.
first mistake.
So, a take that I will admit was wrong, that it's going to hurt me to admit, because I'm ready to see Luke's face light up with this. The Bills suck. The Bills are a football team. They can't run
They're
the ball.
so bad.
They have no running backs. Their O-line is horrible. Their D-line, their linebacker core is horrible. I will happily admit that. Josh Allen is a top quarterback. I will stick by that. But
Stand on that, yeah.
secondary is really good. They can't stop people that run straight down the middle. If you power run, you're going to beat the Bills. If you stop Josh Allen, you're going to beat the Bills. I feel bad for that. They're 9-7. You can't say that's a good team, especially when you have teams breathing down their when they're about to be out of the wild card race. They might not even be in the playoffs this year.
The Dolphins are threatening.
It's not even the Dolphins. The Panthers are not the Panthers. They almost have the same record as the Falcons right now. The Falcons are 7-9. They are 9. The Bills are 9-7. Like, can't stick by them at this point. But happily admit that was a bad thing.
I want to talk about my first major flub when you guys first asked me to do picks.
Oh.
And I underdog the Jaguars. And I have learned very quickly not to do that.
Okay, hang on. Urban Meyer's gone, but that's later in the podcast.
Dude,
But
that was a legendary pick right there.
like we were all like when she said that, we were all shocked in disbelief.
It was my
pick,
first. I'm gonna be honest. Even for like podcasts, I've never done picks outside for anything else. So this being first ever picks, and specifically for a podcast, no idea. Like I knew what I was doing, but I had no idea what I was doing.
It was so good. That pick will go down in history.
Yeah, I made that mistake.
Best worst underdog pick that was ever made.
Exactly.
So do y'all have a take that became true that we argued against?
Justin Herbert is a top 3 quarterback this year. And I
Okay.
will live and die on that mountain. Like, looking at how some of his plays and how he plays, like, I could definitely see him being ranked at least top 5. Like, it's Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert. He is right. If he won against the Chiefs, which he almost made a comeback and did.
Yeah, they lost by what, 3?
Yeah, they lost in overtime by 7 because they bounced off of Travis Kelce like 4 times and everyone forgot to tackle and he ran for like 60 yards. How you let what is he like 6'6" tight end sprint 60 yards downfield on you? I don't know. I wish the league would figure it out so I could stop listening to Travis Kelce stuff, but. He would be an MVP candidate right now. Honestly, I think he would. If he can get his team, because that puts them a game back from the Chiefs with a really easy schedule coming up to a chance to take the division. They're not going to now, but they could have.
Yeah, I could have seen that. I definitely could have seen that.
I will stand on that take. It was a beautiful take. I will live by it.
You got one, Tori?
I do not actually. I didn't really talk much about players or anything, just about teams. And so I think the one I'm most mad about was who was it that I picked? And then y'all both gave me so much credit for picking them. So I switched my pick and it ended
Oh, I remember.
The Giants.
The Giants.
The Giants pick. I picked the Giants. What was that? Week 12? Week 11? Week 12?
I think it was the Giants-Eagles game.
And I picked the Giants. And they were like, no, don't pick the Giants. And they won. I was so mad.
No one
We
said you
told
had to
you
listen
could
to
go
us.
back. We told you you could have your pick back.
But I already had said it on the podcast, and what we said went, and I wasn't going to go back on that when you asked to change your pick, Nick, and I said no.
No. We didn't ask to change our pick. We asked for a half. We asked for half a point with the Lions, and we asked for half a pick because we said if Kyler Murray was back for Arizona, and he was not. We technically said that in the pod. Well, I think Luke said that.
That's true. That's
but
true.
We decided to take it. We took the loss. We did.
Which we were all good about. We all took the loss. We all just.
No, I'm still petty about it and still bring it up constantly.
Clearly, I'm petty about it. It's like 2 weeks later, and I'm sitting here complaining on our 10th episode.
All right. Good takes this time.
Oof.
I've got one,
We have a lot
and
of
Nick is gonna like it. You called Houston beating Boston in 6 in the ALCS.
Oh, hey.
Astros won in 6.
I had something good.
That
was a
My
good
teams
take.
didn't disappoint me for once. There was a downhill slope from there. Don't worry.
How hard was it for you to admit that, Luke?
I will say it.
Sucked.
I will say it. Boston absolutely surprised me. But I messaged Luke about it during the Patriots game. All Boston teams disappoint. That's all they do. They disappoint all their fans.
So I said it's a
Patriots.
good thing. I cheer for half of them. You suck, Patriots. You suck, Bruins. I can't think of any other Boston teams.
Then technically, that's 1/3.
No, because Celtics.
Okay, guys. Unedited episode.
Oh, fine. Okay.
No math.
Right.
Don't make me edit. I just want to slap this in and get it updated. Oh,
Right.
everyone listening, you're listening to this now? This is the parts that I usually edit out. It's not happening this time. We're going to go one straight unedited episode because this episode is going to be a little bit shorter because of this. We will get to sports once we're done making fun of each other. Don't worry. We're going to do a quick little sports recap. We're making fun of each other first.
If we go off on tangents, we go off on tangents. What are we going to do about it?
That's why we have a moderator.
That's me.
All right. I have a good take this time. And they're called the Indianapolis Colts. They've been so impressive despite having Carson Wentz as their quarterback.
Carson Wentz has not been impressive. 5 for 12 for 75 yards. It's not impressive.
But the
Jonathan
Colts
Taylor
have been impressive.
Wasn't impressive.
The
DeForest
Colts have
Buckner
been
has
impressive.
been impressive. All right.
The Colts have a better record right now than the Bills, who were Super Bowl favorites earlier in the season.
Oh, as we just admitted earlier in this podcast, the Bills suck.
Oh yeah, they suck.
Move on. You can't compare teams when you say
Well,
they suck.
To be fair, I was gonna say the Bills sucking was my good pick, but I decided I'll go with the Colts. I'm more proud of that one. But yeah, no, the Colts, they're gonna be in the playoffs whether you like it or not.
I don't. But who knows? Maybe we can have a Colts-Eagles. We can have a Colts-Eagles Super Bowl.
That would
Carson
be
Wentz
something.
versus the Eagles.
Oh, that would be something.
That'd be very interesting.
I don't think anybody would watch that game. But we'll see.
Let's talk about takes that we were, even though we were right about, we were actually super excited because we were right. Something that we didn't think would be right, but ended up being right.
Okay, well,
Have any of those?
the problem is I would talk about free agency in the MLB for this, but lockout. So
Carlos Correa will not be Detroit. I said that when they signed Javier Baez, that Carlos Correa would not go to Detroit. I said it, I will stand on it, and I was right. It's kind of looking like he's going to be a Cub right now because I don't know if y'all saw, a bunch of caroling people in Chicago turned a song into Carlos Correa, please come play for us. And he pretty much said at the top, Merry Christmas to you all. And now everyone's going crazy, oh my God, he's going to the Cubs, he's going to the Cubs. It's quite possible he was just being nice. When you get on the internet, people are caroling for you to come to their city. I feel like you gotta say something to that. But Carlos Correa could be a Cub. It's very possible.
I was just speaking of Carlos Correa. One of the earlier takes you had, like right after the World Series, was that Correa would go back to Houston. Was that Greinke?
That's still. I didn't say Zach. I said I wanted Zach Greinke back. I didn't expect Greinke to come back. I think Greinke's going to retire, or he's going to go to a team and just be like one of those borderline veteran guys. There's still an option for him to go to Houston. It's still on the table. He hasn't said no to Houston. And with the lockout and everything, anything's possible. But it is looking like the landing places are Chicago, Houston. It's not going to be Detroit. I seriously don't think it's going to be the Yankees. At this point, the Yankees aren't going to pay him as much as he wants. So I think it's between Chicago and Houston right now.
Yeah. Well, the thing about the Red Sox free agency is that they've done really little, but they did get rid of Rodriguez, which I thought they might do. I don't know whether I'm happy about that or not yet, because he was, like, by stats, our most winningest pitcher, which was weird to think of. But
why are we talking about free agency? Why did
because this was like the one I've made the big Red Sox free agency prediction like episode 5-ish, I think.
Yeah, you meant like it was like you were getting Steven Matz, you were getting Robbie, you were attempting to get Steven Matz and Robbie Ray, and then neither one of them signed with the Red Sox.
I don't think I said anything about Robbie Ray, but you're on the right track. But they got rid of Rodriguez, but they re-signed Barnes. I still think Schwarber's coming back. I still think he's coming back. We'll see when the lockout eventually ends. Yeah. But that's my prediction for this episode. Schwarber comes back to Boston.
If I'm going to think to like outstanding takes that I took, earlier this season, I really can't think. The Chiefs. I said the Chiefs were going to get it together. They were going to put something together. A bunch of people gave up. I said that defense is going to start looking better once they signed to Melvin Ingram, I think his name is. I mean, they went like a 6 game with allowing less than 10 points until they ran into the Chargers. But
yeah, that was a very good pick because that defense did show up.
It's been looking much, much better. It's been improving. It's been getting healthy. I mean, accidents happen. Sometimes you just say some BS and it happens, you know? That's going to be my motto. Sometimes you say some BS and it happens.
Say the most outlandish thing and maybe it'll come true. Maybe the Jaguars do win the underdog pick. Who knows?
Maybe one day.
The Texas Rangers will be in the playoffs. I'm saying it now.
I thought we discovered that most things we say on the podcast aren't true. So maybe we shouldn't be saying.
Oh, like all our takes about Oklahoma? I feel like I should mention that. Somebody's going to mention it if I don't. We were very wrong about Oklahoma. We said that they were going to be in the top 4.
With one loss. And they ended up with 2 losses.
We said Lincoln Riley was going to stay in Oklahoma. Dead silence from the chat.
Yeah.
Man, what else did we say? I mean, if we want to talk about true coaches, I'm also going to put a take in here. Deion Sanders might go down as one of the best college coaches in college football history. Out there in Jackson State, just got the number 2 prospect to fling hats across the room and put on the Jackson State hat. And then he drove around during warm-ups on a motorcycle, pumping up his team. I mean,
that was awesome.
Deion Sanders, man, what a legend! What a legend!
Well, I think that's good for our recap of older episodes. We do have some stuff we want to talk about today, right?
We gotta get a little bit of sports talking. We are a sports podcast.
We do. So let's start off by talking about COVID and how it's affecting sports.
3 games this week have been rescheduled.
For the NFL.
I know you are not happy about one of them in particular.
Dude, the Eagles got robbed so bad. Eagles are so upset. People want to say, like, oh, the Eagles are just mad. They just wanted an easy win. First off, we're going to beat Washington anyway. It doesn't matter. Secondly, I mean, come on. They got most of their players back by Sunday morning, and they got moved to Tuesday. I will say I thought we were going to play the Cowboys. We're playing the Giants next. So, but we need prep time. We have no prep time. Like players are going to have to get. They're losing 3 days of prep. They're losing that Sunday afternoon after the game, Monday and Tuesday of prep time to get ready, to make sure they're healthy, to get their bodies ready. We did everything right. We same thing for I think it's the Raiders. It's the Rams Raiders game. I forget which team it is that's having COVID breakouts. I think it's the Raiders.
I'll look real quick.
But either way, both of those teams did everything right. The Eagles did everything right. We kept our players healthy. We're good. We're ready to go. And we're getting screwed over because we did things right.
I think it's Seattle you're thinking of.
That's the Seattle game?
It's the Seattle Rams game that got rescheduled.
Yeah.
I think it's Seattle that got hit by COVID, though.
The same thing. I mean, the Rams are also going to beat Seattle, but they're getting punished because they did everything right. And to me, that's unfair. That's ridiculous, and I don't enjoy a Tuesday night 6 p.m. game. I'm already strongly against a Saturday game. I think that was stupid. But Tuesday night game, 6 p.m. Tuesday night, that's just really, really dumb to me. And it's also NBA. The NBA is also getting run through. There's a huge list of players. And I don't know if y'all saw it. While we were doing takes, I kind of looked over at my phone and did a head bob. I was really upset. Hawks guard Trae Young is officially an NBA's COVID protocol.
Oh, no.
He just proposed
that's why they're one good player.
So that's horrible for me too. But Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie, Westbrook was out for a minute with it. I think he got fixed up pretty quick though. Trae Young now. There's so many players doing COVID, and I'm really scared we're gonna have another lockout situation happen again. I really don't want that to happen.
I hope not.
I don't think they will because that's really complicated to set up and everything. There's too many games left in the season. But at some point, you got to consider players' health, and this is horrific in a lot of ways. Hang on one second. I'm looking at something.
So, while you're looking, it was the Rams that had the COVID outbreak.
Okay. Well, then that's even worse because Seattle could have won this game now. They did everything right to be healthy and be able to compete, and it's not their fault that the Rams couldn't get their self together. It's really upsetting. It's really bothersome, and they're being punished for it, and that's ridiculous. But the game I want to look at for the NBA is yesterday's Orlando Nets game. Orlando won 100-93. Okay, I'm going to list off the Nets starting team, and you tell me if you've heard, and you tell me what you think of this team. All right, Blake Griffin, Patty Mills, Duke Jr., C. Thomas, K. Edwards.
You don't even know their first name.
I sure don't. Hang on. Kessler Edwards, David Duke Jr., and Cam Thomas.
Well, Patty Mills and Blake Griffin.
Yeah, and they both did good. Patty Mills dropped 23 and Blake Griffin dropped 17. They still lost. And, I mean, it's not like the Orlando's starting team was much better. Okiki, Franz Wagner, Robin Lopez, Gary Harris, and Michael Mulder. I'm sorry. At some point, you have to look at these teams and realize that something really big is happening right now, and you might just want to... I'm not saying to shut down sports completely. Maybe taking a 2-week break in the NBA, push it back another 2 weeks, let everyone be healthy. And then in the NFL, dude, if you're going to play. You have rules in place for this. You have made protocols, you have made strict rules, you've had punishments in charge. Grow a backbone and stick by it. They changed it. As soon as all this happened, they changed the rule again. They're lessening the punishment for non-vaccinated players right now.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but if you're going to make these rules, you got to stick by it. Show some backbone and really stand.
It's like that in the NFL too. We saw when Aaron Rodgers was out for breaking COVID violations. It was 2 days, barely got fined. These players that are breaking the rules, outright breaking the supposedly enforced rules are hardly getting punished for it.
No. Some players are getting punished. Good players aren't, which is the reason that a lot of these protocols are getting changed now. Because if it wasn't, the Browns game also got rescheduled. Browns had no quarterback. Their quarterback was going to be Nick Mullins. Because Keenum and Baker were both out.
Yep.
I just got a message. Cavaliers have COVID-19 outbreak. Fears exist that they will struggle to have 8 players available Saturday versus the Hawks.
Did you just get that?
Sure did.
Oh boy.
Thank you, Woj.
So just so you know, we are recording. It is Sunday morning.
Yeah, sorry, we're a little behind this week. Lots of scheduling happening. We're gonna be a little behind, but special episode, 10th episode.
All right, but that's COVID. It's rough.
Let's get on a happier topic.
Thoughts on Curry breaking the 3-point record?
He's a 3-point
shooter in NBA history.
He's gonna climb that number into the stratosphere.
He's gonna be the first NBA player with 3,000 career threes.
I could see it.
He's gonna take that record and put it on such a high shelf that it's not gonna happen again. Like Curry, I've heard a lot of debate. I think it was Stephen A. Smith, which yet again, don't group me with Stephen A. Smith. I just agree with this one take. In terms of changing the sport, Jordan changed the sport. He brought in the championship mentality, the finishing at the rim, the highlight dunks. That was him. And from him, we got players like Vince Carter, who everyone knows for putting his arm in the rim. LeBron James really hasn't changed the sport. He hasn't. It didn't happen. Magic Johnson, highlight passes, changed the sport. Kobe Bryant, Mamba mentality, changed the sport. Since Steph Curry has entered the league, the amount of 3-pointers that have been taken compared to mid-range shots is ridiculous. Like at this point, you have to come in the league with a 3-point shot. Because if you don't, you're considered a bust. Markelle Fultz, Ben Simmons, no longer big top players. What is Giannis' biggest weakness? Everyone says he has to develop an outside shot. You have to have an outside shot now. Steph Curry has changed the league. Even LeBron James started getting better at shooting threes once Steph Curry really blew up.
It's the only way you can combat them, honestly. You have to go shot for shot or else you're going to lose.
So, through that mentality, Steph Curry might be a better all-time player than LeBron James. The only reason I'm not going to really stand by that is because LeBron James, what he's done with records and everything, longevity and everything, definitely him. But, I mean, in the long run, I think Curry is by far the best point guard in NBA history. Could end up being a top 5 player in NBA history by the end of his career.
Scary good.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a part we usually cut out. The Zoom call is about to kick us out. So, what we're going to do is going to be a small little cut here as we switch over Zoom calls. And
but you're not missing anything.
You won't. Don't worry. We will be back. And welcome back from that cut that you probably will never notice happen because I am amazing at editing these videos.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Man, guys, get me up here. Come on.
So, starting us back, which NBA team is in the most trouble this year?
You want it first?
You go ahead. Don't worry.
Phoenix Suns. They were such a good team, expected to be in the playoffs, compete for that, 8th spot.
Injuries. 3 seed right now?
Yeah, injuries have derailed everything they had going. Losing Bledsoe was such a dagger to the heart for that team. It was bad.
Bledsoe.
Eric Bledsoe.
He's not on the Suns. That's the Clippers. Devin.
Oh, whoops. Wrong article.
Gentlemen, welcome to the part where Luke doesn't know what he's reading.
And
Well,
welcome to the
it's
part where this
NBA.
is normally what we cut out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we have to go and do more research because we don't know what we're talking about.
I was not ready for this segment at all, and I ended up reading an article from 2016.
So for you
The old Suns. Okay, so while he does that, I will talk about my team because I came prepared for this podcast somewhat. The Boston Celtics are in a lot of trouble. And as much as Luke wants to be, oh, they're fine, they're 500. They're 500. Boston Celtics went into this year supposed to be one of those top 5 teams in the West, in the East. They were supposed to be a top team. They're not. They're sitting around 500. Jaylen Brown's been hurt. Tatum's been doing his best. Dennis Schroeder has not been that guy. They have they're just not a great supporting cast. I don't think that team is very good. I don't think that they'll be very good. If they make the playoffs, they're going to be a bottom seed and they're going to be a first round exit. I think the Boston Celtics are in a lot of trouble because they have a lot of young talent and they need to do something.
All right, I've got a team. You want an actual team? The Lakers.
Yes, I will also stand by that. But finish my take. Cutting people off is my thing, Luke. Come on.
I thought you were done.
They got to do the Celtics got to do something. Jaylen Brown is apparently like a big trade piece that might be gone soon. I honestly think they might need to trade him and try to get a better guard. Honestly, I think they need a better true point guard. Dennis Schroeder has not been that guy. Marcus Smart has not been that guy. I honestly think they need to do something, get in a better guard, but we'll see how that one goes. All right, Luke, tell us about the Lakers.
The Lakers suck.
Yes, they do.
It's so good that the Lakers suck. It makes me happy. AD can't play defense.
Okay.
Bron is old. You're getting they just like re-signed Westbrook or something for a few games. He's not going to help that team. It's the Lakers.
They signed Isaiah Thomas.
Oh, that's right. Isaiah IT. That's who they signed. I couldn't remember. I don't keep up with the NBA.
So Anthony Davis. Okay, I heard something recently that upsets me, but makes sense. We might be underselling Anthony Davis. We're so used to him being a top 5, top 10 defender. He's still top 25 this year. He's like 23rd in defensive rating right now. He's still he's an above average defender. He's just not lockout.
No, you can't be above average and play for the Lakers. You have to be elite to play for the Lakers. And that is not what this team is right now. We were
putting Anthony Davis up there with people like Kevin Durant. We were saying that he was better than Tim Duncan. We were thinking he was a top 5 player in the NBA. He has not been that guy. He hasn't. Westbrook, still super clutch. Like, he still puts up super clutch shots and makes them. He's not been consistent. He's getting better with his turnovers, but he hasn't been a consistent player. LeBron has been doing really good this year. He's averaging like 28, 8 minutes.
He's doing LeBron things, but he's old and he doesn't have a team around him anymore. Even his Cleveland teams were better.
He can't do what he used to. He can't carry a team anymore. He can't put him on his back.
Cleveland teams were better.
But no. His Cleveland teams were not better. LeBron was better. LeBron was athletic enough to change. LeBron's defense is not the same this year. It's not the same as it was then. He's not going to be an all-defensive player. That team struggles defensively. Austin Reeves, I still think, needs more time. He needs more minutes. I think Isaiah Thomas might end up getting signed long-term. He came back for one game, dropped 19 and 5, I think. 19, 5, and 4. I mean, he still did really good. Isaiah Thomas looked good. He did. I think that if they keep playing, he'd be good. The issue is, that doesn't help them defensively. He is 5'10". He actually might hurt them defensively. He is 5'10". He's like 33 years old. And he's not all there.
Listen, anything you can do to hurt the Lakers, I'm all for.
The Lakers are in talk for Ben Simmons, which doesn't fix their spacing, fixes their defense. Going back to the beginning of this podcast, I do think, now that I'm thinking of that, I think I said something about Ben Simmons to the Lakers. So, check me. Moving on from that, I think that really helps them defensively to get Ben Simmons, because that's an inside-outside defender that they absolutely could use, but they don't have anything that the 76ers would want, unless they're going to trade Westbrook. And if I'm not mistaken, Westbrook and Embiid do not like each other. Probably not the best thing to do, but I think Westbrook would be really good out there because they already have spacing. He could go inside, be good. Pick and roll between Westbrook and Embiid would be amazing. I'm going to go ahead and X myself. I said Embiid was my MVP candidate this year. He hasn't been healthy. X me, but
All right, back to even.
but
One check, one X.
okay, it's early in the season. Embiid has time, all right? But yeah, the Lakers are in a lot of trouble. They don't have a good supporting cast. They can't space the floor. They're in a lot of trouble.
It makes me happy.
One name, 2 words. Urban Meyer. As Nick put in our plans, the worst coach in NFL history.
Statistically,
the
yes.
worst coach in NBA history, or NFL history.
The worst. He has, what is it, like a .154 winning percentage?
3 wins.
1 year?
3 wins as a head coach. They signed him 5 years. He didn't make it in 1. In his time,
Statistically, the worst.
we have seen him. I mean, the biggest thing that he did was save his marriage after he was caught with a college student in his lap. So
Okay. Whoa, let's make it sports. I know that
no. That was sports.
That was sports.
I know it's sports, and I know he's a coach, and I know he made bad decisions. But how about let's be nuts?
No.
He kicked his kicker. He kicked his kicker. Literally told him, "Hey, bad word. Make your kicks," and then kicked him in the leg.
And then he went off on all his assistant coaches.
He told his assistant coaches, "You are all losers and I am a winner. Prove me wrong. Show me your records. What have you done?"
Show them his record.
I think he's been proven wrong.
He has more college championship victories than he did wins as an NFL head coach. He came into the league.
Still got signed to the Raiders.
He's still, for some reason, in the league. Thank you, Raiders. You somehow managed to draw more bad media to your team. You somehow pulled that off. You got more bad media on your team. 3 games. That's all they need him for is 3 or 4 games. Raiders Nation, I'm sorry. But this is why you should go support the Chargers and not the Raiders. Luckily, y'all have 2 teams. Go support the Chargers and not the Raiders.
Yeah, see, this coaching sign is exactly why the Raiders are going to lose, even though their game got rescheduled.
Mm-hmm. Dude, Urban Meyer makes me angry. Like, he might have ruined probably the greatest prospect and the NFL's had in 20 years in Trevor Lawrence. He had a all-pro running back and benched him for fumbling and benched him for a 9-year vet. I'm sorry, but dude, he was not running that team well. I feel so bad for the interim coach. Literally, right afterwards, after he was like his first interview as an interim coach, 90% of the questions were about how things have changed with Urban Meyer. With Urban Meyer gone. The receivers got to be better. They got to stop dropping passes. Trevor's got to be smarter. Hopefully, they can finally get the run game really going back with their all-pro running back. But Urban Meyer sucks. He's so bad. So bad.
The worst thing to happen to the Jaguars in recent memory.
Wasn't one of his goals when he came in to create a better workspace environment?
Probably. That sounds about right.
He failed.
Failed. Guys, I think it's time for picks.
Pick up.
Pick up.
Oh.
Last week.
All right, and I'm going to do this because it's uncut, and I had a question. So I'm going to clarify. Last week, we had a disagreement. Me and Nick, remind me what teams. Me and Nick underdogged a team, and the same game, Luke underdogged the other team. So we had a big fight, and normally when you underdog, you lose 2, and if you get it wrong and when you get it right, you gain 2. So we did do where because we disagreed on underdog, we went ahead and said that the loser only lost 1 and the winner gained 2. So with
That is not for everything else now. Everything is betting odds. I will do my best to keep everyone updated on the betting odds. Luke, records are flawed. If we look at records, and the Atlanta Falcons are favored in most of their games. That is not true. So we're going to go by betting odds. I will do my best to keep everything with betting odds.
So going off of last week, our scores going off of that, Nick went 11-4. I went 13-2, and Luke went 15-1.
So close. I almost had a perfect week.
Cardinals sold on you, my boy.
Almost.
Would have been 13-3 if we'd done the 2+2. We had a big fight about that, guys.
Every time else, it is now +2, -2. One thing.
Because there's confusion. Although I do have one confusion because Nick, Kanya, you can cut this out if you want, but you underdog Jacksonville, and that does not look like the underdog this week.
Who's Jacksonville playing?
You're sure right. I sure did look at that wrong.
Oh.
Houston. And Jacksonville he underdog Jacksonville, and Jacksonville.
Honestly,
underdog a different team. That'll be fine.
Honestly, Jacksonville, Houston, either one can be the underdog, and it wouldn't matter. They're both that bad.
Don't worry, I'll figure something out as we're going. All right.
We'll talk about it. I just wanted to give Nick a heads up because just something I noticed. All right. First game already happened. It was Thursday's game, Kansas City at LA Chargers.
All right.
I'm on the heart. Oh my God, if I can talk. I'm on the Chargers hype train. I had to pick them. They lost. They screwed me over. Sad day.
Luke and I agreed Kansas City.
Yep.
And then, although Las Vegas and Cleveland got moved, what'd y'all pick?
I had Cleveland.
I have Cleveland, and I have them especially now because Nick Mullins will not be the starting quarterback.
Yeah. If they're getting healthy, thanks to the break, and Urban Meyer was hired by the Raiders, I've got Cleveland.
Cleveland. All right. New England to Indianapolis. Although this game has been played and Colts won, who'd y'all pick?
Let's go Colts.
Okay. I picked the Colts. I did pick the Colts. Before everyone comes at me, the Colts are the best team in the league at creating turnovers. Patriots had a rookie quarterback, and all their receivers have had problems with fumbling. The running backs have had problems with fumbling. Pick the Colts. I'm not on the Colts hype train, though. Not start with me.
I'm going to call you out, Nick. That's not what your thing says.
No, I fixed it beforehand. I just didn't.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I know. I fixed
okay. Just making sure. Just making sure we're not cheating over here. All right. Sunday's games. Carolina at Buffalo.
Bills.
Buffalo sucks, but they're going to beat Carolina.
Bills do suck, but we all agree.
Hey, watch PJ Walker go off. You never know.
No.
New York Jets at Miami.
Dolphins.
Miami's coming for that crown, man.
Playoff push.
The Patriots just lost. If the Bills lost, then Miami's that much closer. Who knows?
Washington at Philadelphia.
Philly.
This game got rescheduled. This game got rescheduled, and that's Washington favored. But I picked Philadelphia because I want them to win. But this game has such major wild card implications that I don't know. Between all the other NFC East teams that I hate, I think I could stand the 4-7 Eagles winning this and still being under 500.
I went with Philly. Arizona at Detroit.
Yeah, Cardinals.
Okay. Arizona disappointed us last week. I don't think they're going to disappoint us this much.
Don't speak too soon. Remember, what we say on the podcast, sometimes it's
I knocked on wood.
Thank you. Dallas at New York Giants.
I locked Dallas.
As much as I want the Giants to win, I think it'd be hilarious if they did. They're not going to win. The Cowboys will win this game.
Dallas!
Oh,
Locked it, baby.
Tennessee at Pittsburgh.
I've got Tennessee.
I picked the Titans, but
Tennessee.
This is a game that was washed more.
Yeah. The Steelers are having their own little mini COVID outbreak, aren't they? So
They're having their own thing going on, but they should be.
yeah, I'll go with the Titans for this one.
Houston at Jacksonville.
I chose Jacksonville.
I picked Jacksonville. I underdogged them. That's gonna be wrong. I did forget to say I locked Arizona on Detroit, so I did do that because I wanted that safe pick. I had underdog Jacksonville. I'm gonna move my underdog, but I do think Jacksonville. No more Urban Meyer. That whole team is gonna be fired up. They're gonna be better because he's gone. So there might be a little bit more hope in the team. Houston sucks. They really suck. It's a battle of rookie quarterbacks.
Yep.
So we're gonna see.
This is the best of the worst this week.
First time I picked Jacksonville, it came back and bit me in the butt. And I underdogged them. I picked Jacksonville. Fingers crossed, because last time we all know how that went. Atlanta at San Francisco.
I've got the 49ers.
I picked San Francisco. That defense is gonna run through Atlanta.
I feel like the 49ers have been a sleeper pick for a lot of their games, but against Atlanta, they're heavy favorites.
Cincinnati at Denver.
I am underdogging Cincinnati over Denver.
Are we underdogging the same thing again?
Serious, I just BS'd my way to an underdog. Are you kidding me?
I've
Yes.
got Denver for this one.
Okay, Denver's defense is really good. I really considered picking them. I really did. The Bengals are a very inconsistent offensive team. They've had like 2 off games. The only way they can go now is to win and be amazing. So I think the Bengals will win. I think they have a chance.
I picked Cincinnati, or if you're Luke, you call them the Bengals.
Bengals.
Whatever.
Bengals.
The Bengals. All right, Green Bay at Baltimore.
Ooh, Green Bay's gonna stop Baltimore. Lamar Jackson is questionable. I think he's just out. Tyler Huntley's gonna be the starting QB. He's been good when he's been there, but the Ravens team is just so beat up. Green Bay is not. Green Bay's gonna hurt them a lot.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a very big game. I'm not gonna say a blowout because that'll come back, and when we go to the next time we do this, I don't want that take on my neck. So
when does Baltimore lose first in their division?
probably never, depending on how that division looks, because you got the Browns who are beat up. You got Pittsburgh who sucks. You have the Bengals who knows.
Cincinnati's the closest. Let's be honest.
This is going to be a fight to see who doesn't want it less. None of them want to win that division apparently. So we'll see.
Seattle at LA Rams.
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 Dude, by the end of this game, Russell Wilson's going to be begging to get out of there. Von Miller, Aaron Donald. Poor guy. Poor Russell Wilson. He is in trouble.
This reschedule also favors the Rams. So
New Orleans at Tampa Bay.
DB.
R.I.P. New Orleans. Tom Brady is going to yet again own the Saints. Happens every year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually locked Tampa Bay on this one.
It's fair enough.
Okay.
And then Monday's game. Also, my birthday. I'm gonna be that person. Yes, I am. Minnesota at Chicago.
I've got the Vikings.
All right. I am actually going to switch my underdog. That way me and Tori don't underdog this. I pick Chicago over Minnesota because I have no more hope in Minnesota ever winning a game. I will counter
Dalvin Cook.
game. I don't care. I don't care.
You were. Hold on a second.
Get off me. If you're about to jump on me about Matt Nagy, don't worry. He still sucks at his job.
No. Hold on. You literally said last podcast, Kirk Cousins is a quarterback with caliber to lead a team to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Do you think he could do it this year if things played out right? And you got to underdog the Bears.
Okay. It didn't go right last game. The Bears looked really, albeit for a half, they looked really good against that Green Bay defense. They did. Did they fall apart at the end of the game? Yes. Somebody did the double check belt. The same guy who's done it twice, Aaron Rodgers, and both times the Bears blew a lead against him. Don't do that anymore. The Bears looked really good against Green Bay that first half, which is a top defense. The top 3 defense in the league right now. The Vikings have no defense. It's dead. I think they can do it. Mike Zimmer's an idiot. Kirk Cousins and those receivers are still top receivers. If I'm not mistaken, I think Adam Thielen is still out. So it's just yet again the Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook show. Which, I mean, can absolutely be amazing. It can. But it's going to be a shootout again, and the Vikings are very 50-50 to win the shootouts. Actually, I think it's like 80-20 they don't win them. So I'm going to pick Chicago. I'll underdog Chicago. And if that comes back to bite me in the butt, I'll go down on that hill. I'll do something for that.
All right. I'm
They
sticking
lost
with
to Detroit. Why wouldn't they lose to Chicago?
This one was very back and forth for me. I don't know why, but I went back and forth a lot. I originally started with Chicago and I ended up with Vikings. So that is my pick.
All right.
And I think that's it for this episode.
Catch me on my perfect perfect week this week, since I didn't get it last week.
Oh, we wanted to have a bit of a rant? Anybody feel like ranting?
I do, really quickly.
Tori wants to get a Tori rant. Wow.
You people need to follow our social media because we have TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and Spotify and iHeartRadio.
Strategy.
We have 6 platforms. I'm ranting about you guys now. I want to see follows. We started a TikTok. Give us ideas, give us feedback, and none of you replied to our Instagram questionnaire, so we didn't get to answer any questions. I will yell. I don't care if this is cut. If it's not cut, then it's not cut.
Unedited episode. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to the All-Star Trio podcast. We will be back all week, every week. We are on Spotify and iHeartRadio, and our videos are posted on YouTube. You can come over and see how gross we all actually look. Follow us on all our socials, as Tori has made sure to yell at you about. Please do not unfollow us because Tori is yelling at you. I am sorry.
I'm sorry. I love you guys. It's All-Star Trio. Love y'all. I'm sorry. I'm not really upset. Just yelling seems to work sometimes. In this podcast, at least.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Farewell.
Peace.
See ya.
Podcast out.